Hi everyone, I'm here again with the second video in this series on Martin Luther King Jr. and his speech called Beyond Vietnam, given on April 4, 1967 at Riverside Church in New York City. That was a year to the day before he was shot and killed in Memphis, Tennessee. In that speech, which again I'll link to here so you can listen to the whole speech because it is powerful and must be heard. In this speech, Martin Luther King Jr. says a lot of things that can apply directly to our engagement and our relation to the nation of Israel and the war that Israel has begun and is continuing in Gaza against Hamas. Let me just read a couple of paragraphs here from Dr. King's speech and then offer a couple of reflections. Dr. King says, "Some of us who have already begun to break the silence of the night have found that the calling to speak is often a vocation of agony. But we must speak. We must speak with all the humility that is appropriate to our limited vision. But we must speak. And we must rejoice as well, for surely this is the first time in our nation's history that a significant number of its religious leaders have chosen to move beyond the prophesying of smooth patriotism to the high grounds of a firm dissent based upon the mandates of conscience and the reading of history. Perhaps a new spirit is rising among us. If it is, let us trace its movements and pray that our own inner being may be sensitive to its guidance, for we are deeply in need of a new way beyond the darkness that seems so close around us." I find myself in that paragraph of Dr. King's. I find myself as someone who wants to stand on those high grounds of firm dissent based on the mandates of conscience and the reading of history. As I have read and studied about the history of Israel and Palestine, the people of Palestine, the people of Israel, the nation of Israel as it was formed in 1948, and the various reasons why a Palestinian state has not been formed to date, I find myself saying we must speak up for the people of Palestine, for specifically the people of Gaza in this instance, who are feeling the onslaught of the war of Israel against Hamas. There's a new spirit rising within me, and so I'm tracing its movements, and I pray that my inner being may be sensitive to the guidance of God, because we collectively are desperately in need of a new way beyond the darkness that seems so close. And that darkness I describe as just pushing money toward the nation of Israel because that's what we do. We've done this for a long time, but why? Why do we do this? There are questions about why we support Israel, and I'm happy to have us support Israel, but not when it comes to Israel committing potential war crimes against the people of Gaza. Some 20,000, 22,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since the war began in October of last year, just 3 months. And so we must speak. We must speak out and say that this is not right and this must come to an end. Dr. King will give us more words to put behind that to say that this must come to an end and soon. He goes on to say, if America's soul becomes totally poisoned, part of the autopsy must read Vietnam. It can never be saved so long as it destroys the deepest hopes of men the world over. He used the masculine language often in his speech. It was the sign of the time. The deepest hopes of people the world over is what he means. If America's soul becomes totally poisoned, part of the autopsy must read Vietnam. That statement should stop us in our tracks, because we often look now at Vietnam with a lot of reverence and patriotism. Our men and women fought for the cause and laid down their lives and did the noble thing, but we did some pretty nasty things in Vietnam as a nation. Our soul can never be saved so long as we destroy the deepest hopes of people the world over. That's a complicated statement, right? What are we doing in Gaza? Are we in any way participating in destroying the deepest hopes of people in Gaza by funneling $14.5 billion and then some in military aid and assistance to Israel? Are we in any way complicit in destroying the lives of innocent civilians in Gaza? And is our soul as a nation at risk of becoming totally poisoned? And will part of the autopsy read Gaza as it reads Vietnam, as it reads our own civil war, as it reads all of the other things that have been damaging to the soul of our nation? This is difficult stuff. And I hope you continue with me on this journey. Again, I just want to do short videos here to express what I'm thinking and feeling and invite you to become part of this process too, to say we must stand up and say that there really does need to be a reevaluation of our connection to the nation of Israel and our support of their military attacks against the people of Gaza. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.